Nobody wants Mohamed Salah. Let that sink in. One of the most feared forwards of a generation. A man who rewrote records at Liverpool FC. A player who delivered night after night in the Premier League and conquered Europe in the UEFA Champions League is now walking away for free. No transfer war. No bidding frenzy. No last-minute mega deal. Just silence. And the reason behind it is far more brutal than people think. Because this isn't just about football. This is about how quickly the game forgets you. At his peak, Mohamed Salah wasn't just a star. He was inevitable. Defenders knew what he would do and still couldn't stop him. Season after season, he delivered numbers that placed him alongside the greatest to ever wear the shirt. 155 goals. 9 seasons. A legacy cemented in red. But football doesn't reward what you did yesterday. It punishes what you are today. And today, the perception has changed. Behind the scenes, something cracked. That explosive fallout with Arne Slot wasn't just a moment of frustration. It was a signal. A fracture between player and club. The kind of fracture that doesn't heal. It separates. From that point on, the story was already being written. Not publicly, not dramatically, but quietly, strategically. A separation that suited both sides. The kind that feels less like a decision and more like an inevitability. Because here's what most fans don't see. Clubs don't just think about talent. They think about risk. And Salah, at 33, on massive wages with a dip in form, became a risk. A very expensive one. Over $400,000 a week. That's not just a salary. That's a statement. A statement that only a handful of clubs in world football can even consider matching. Now add the transfer fee on top of that. Suddenly you're not buying a legend. You're inheriting a gamble. And in modern football, even legends are judged like investments. Cold. Calculated. Ruthless. So Liverpool FC did what elite clubs do best. They tested the market. Quietly. Discreetly. Hoping someone somewhere would take the deal. But the offers never came. Not because Salah isn't great, but because the equation didn't make sense. Age, salary, form. 3 factors that decide everything at the top level. And right now, they're all working against him. Compare that to Cristiano Ronaldo. At 41, he still commands attention, still generates demand, still has clubs willing to pay millions just to bring him in. Why? Because Ronaldo isn't just a player. He's a global machine, a brand, a spectacle, a guaranteed return on investment. Back in 2018, he moved to Juventus FC for $100 million. At the exact same age Salah is now approaching, that's the level, that's the benchmark. And as harsh as it sounds, Salah isn't seen in that same category when it comes to late career transfers. Not by clubs, not by decision makers, not by the market. And that's the part fans struggle to accept. Because emotionally, it feels wrong. How can a player of this magnitude leave for nothing? But football isn't emotional. It's transactional. So instead of forcing a move that doesn't exist, Liverpool are cutting clean. No transfer fee, no drawn-out negotiations, just a mutual understanding that it's time. A no-fault divorce, as it's been described. And maybe that's the most telling part of all. There's no villain here, no dramatic betrayal, just timing. And timing in football is everything. Salah leaves not as a failure, but as a legend whose moment has simply passed in the eyes of the market. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Not every great gets a perfect ending. Some just fade out of the system. Quietly, unexpectedly, almost unfairly. But here's the real question. Is the market wrong? Or are we witnessing the natural cycle of greatness coming to an end? Because players like Salah don't just disappear. They reinvent. They move. They prove people wrong. So what happens next could define his legacy even more than what he's already done. Does he go somewhere new and shock the world again? Or does this become the final chapter of an era we didn't even realize was ending? One thing is certain. Football moves on. Always The only question is whether legends can keep up with it. If you made it this far, you already know this isn't just a transfer story. It's a story about how fast greatness can turn into doubt. So tell me, if you were running a top club right now, would you take Salah, or is football making the right call? And if you want more stories that go deeper than headlines, the kind that actually explain what's really happening behind the scenes, stay here, because this is where the game gets real.